So it's finally here, boys, the Switch game we've all been waiting for. Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe for Nintendo Switch.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Alright, let's just get the nice stuff out of the way first. As a game, this title is fine. It's 2D Mario. I think at this point, most of you know exactly what to expect from this type of title. And it looks pretty good. Obviously, the big selling point of this game when it first launched, alongside the Wii U, as in yes, if you're not aware, this was a Wii U launch game, available day one on the platform. But yeah, one of the big draws for it was that it was actually the first Mario game in HD. Finally, by 2012, we could play a Mario game clearly on our HD TVs. The new Super Luigi U, what I would call standalone DLC, is also included. While the levels in this game are technically new, they're more so remixed versions of the standard ones. This is kind of key for where I'm going with this video because I do see many people trying to make it seem like they gave you two totally unique games here. Hardly. But this version is actually much more difficult, and elements like the timers, enemy placement, are a lot less forgiving. So if you do pick this up and you enjoy tougher platformers, like we see a lot of in the indie realm these days, I'd probably actually recommend just going right into Luigi U, especially if you try and go for all those star coins. I think you will have some fun with this. And last, but perhaps most importantly, our baby boy, Blue Toad. We thought we lost him. But he's apparently okay, fully playable in this game. However, he was not in that initial cutscene. Even if you pick Blue Toad to start the game, he's nowhere to be seen. So I don't really know, is Blue Toad even canon in this game anymore? Maybe he is dead in the storyline and this is just an alternate costume for Yellow Toad thrown in last minute to appease Blue Toad fans. Like, there are still tons of unanswered questions about this. Either way, it's nice to know he's there. So that pretty much takes care of the good stuff. And this video is just getting started. So strap in. On the other side of things, to start, why in God's name is this game $60 in the US? The same price as a full brand new AAA game. As I stated at the top, this is a Wii U in all caps launch game from 2012. And yes, it does include the Luigi U stuff, as it should. But come on, that's like some of the simplest DLC ever made. You're telling me this game belongs on the shelf next to a title like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? For the same price? Or let's keep with the platformer genre. Hell, let's keep with Mario games. Mario Odyssey. And beyond that, you have Yoshi's Crafted World, a brand new 2D platforming title coming in just a couple months. As I've said with some other ports, these types of games should be utilized as library builders for people to grow their collection without shelling out $60 per game. And if there has ever been a Nintendo Switch game to date released by Nintendo that should be sold at a cheaper price, it is this game. And sure, people will bring up the sales. It's been widely reported on the game is selling well, much better in fact than it did on the Wii U. You don't say. You mean like every other port Nintendo has put out on the Switch? I don't believe it. The Switch version outsold a console that moved 14 million units in its entire lifespan? Less even. I'm shocked. I'm utterly blown away. Especially, again, a launch game. If the Wii U sold less than 14 million units in its entire lifespan, how many did it sell at launch? A dozen or so? Fact is, it's pretty hard to slap Mario on a game cover and have it not sell well. Like, you'd have to actually try to get it to fail. Doesn't mean the game's worth $60. And continuing on, the choice of game to port here. Of all the games that have still been left behind on the Wii U, your Wind Waker HD, Xenoblade Chronicles X, etc. Even beyond those, if you absolutely needed Mario, a guaranteed software mover,
the familiar sight of Super Mario Brothers. Wait, that's not right. Time to open up some new possibilities.
Why didn't you just bring over Super Mario Maker? I mean, seriously, I defy anyone in the comments to tell me they'd rather have Super Mario Bros. U over Super Mario Maker. Find me a comment that says that, and you have found yourself a liar. Now, would Mario Maker maybe take a little bit more work to bring over to the Switch? Sure. But God forbid, Nintendo, you have to do a little bit of work for a game you're selling for the second time around and charging $60 for it. I guess, yeah, the entitled gamers like me, I know, we expect so much from you guys. And Mario Maker is one I could probably even justify a full AAA price tag for. Since the game content is really only limited by what players make, you're going to have way more people playing it, so you're going to get way more levels. And just like when I reviewed the original game, I think it is by far the best user-generated platforming game to date, and I still think that. Honestly, out of all the games Nintendo could have put the time into bringing over to Switch, this one, at least for me personally, would be at the very bottom. Like I said at the beginning, it's not necessarily a bad game, not very memorable either though. I mean, even when it released, yeah, it had the allure of being the first true HD Mario game, but it really just looked and played like an HD version of the Mario Brothers games on the Wii. And that's why, even though I think as a game it's okay, I also don't think it's going to top anyone's list of favorite Mario games of all time either, or even people's lists of Wii U games that they want brought over to the Switch. And it's also worth reiterating, a Wii U launch title for $60 in 2019. Could you imagine if this year Ubisoft tried selling us Zombie U again for $60? They would be the laughingstock of the entire gaming industry for at least that week. Also, as I said about the sales being strong, yeah, it's Mario on the Switch, I expected no less. But you know what? Loot boxes and microtransactions, the crap we bitch about here all the time, those sell a lot too. Those also make a lot of money, but that doesn't make them right either, does it? And finally, here's maybe where Nintendo's strong support of indies can bite them in the ass a little bit. How many outstanding indie games released just over the past year, and at a fraction of the price that this port costs? In many cases, you could get 3 indie games. Right now today, you could buy Celeste, Wonder Boy, and Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight being my personal favorite Switch game from last year. And you can get all 3 together on Switch combined for less than the price of this port from 2012. Honestly, that's it. I rest my case right there. Yeah, with that, this video's a wrap. Let me know your thoughts on slapping a $60 price tag on Super Mario Bros. U in the comments. I'm done talking about this game. Hey guys, thanks for listening to me rant here about new Super Mario Bros. U. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It's not always like this, I swear. And if you want to keep the conversation going, hit me up on Twitter @JohnnyZakari and join my Discord, ChiGuy and Friends. Link to both in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching.